First, let me welcome our distinguished witnesses and thank them for their testimony today. As I've said, every hearing we've held, I'm committed to rail reauthorization this year. One area the next rail bill will likely need to address is the role innovative financing tools can play to advance intercity passenger rail projects. We all need to be creative in ways to stretch the federal dollars and work with our partners in the states, with communities, and the private sector. I've consistently advocated for the need to leverage private sector financing in my home state for the construction of high-speed rail. Without private sector engagement and financing, the California project is doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past and will require endless subsidies from federal taxpayers. Innovative finance has been increasingly used in the United States for highway and mass transit projects, and one of my goals for the upcoming reauthorization is to extend that trend to passenger rail. The Railroad Rehabilitation and Improvement Financing Loan Program is an example of a program I'd like to leverage even more. Currently, RIF is authorized to lend up to $35 billion in loans and loan guarantees for the development of railroad infrastructure. The program was created principally for short line and Class 1 freight railroads, though recently commuter and intercity passenger rail operators have expressed interest in the program. RIF and other federal credit programs can accelerate large infrastructure projects if stakeholders come together to identify repayment sources. For example, Denver is utilizing RIF and TIFIA to complete a major expansion of Denver Union Station, which will improve intercity rail, commuter rail, and bus connections. The loans are being repaid with a combination of local revenue sources. This is an excellent example of states that private sector and the federal government partnering to build more infrastructure in new and creative ways. We need to encourage more of this type of innovative thinking at the state and local level so entities like the Altamont Commuter Express, ACE in my area, can make the infrastructure upgrades they need for the future. Station development is another tool that can be leveraged to support expanded and improved passenger rail services. Rail stations are often located in desirable downtown locations and can become the focus around which significant residential, commercial, and retail development can occur. Value capture methods such as the tax increment financing can be a means to leverage that private sector development to spur transportation improvements. Finally, railroads themselves can proactively use their own property to create additional funding sources. For instance, railroad right-of-way can be used to place telecommunication and other non-transportation infrastructure. In 2012, Amtrak generated $94 million in real estate-related revenue, and I'd like to work to see them grow that number even further. Again, I thank the witnesses for being here today. I'd now like to recognize Mr. Nadler for 5 minutes to make any opening statement he may have.